Boomer Sooner, everybody. How are you? I'm good. My name's Harry James. We'll do doing a double feature this week so that I can prepare for next weekend's official preview of the game week. So we'll be doing two videos. The first is, we all know that Josh Heupel's no longer at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's one of Oklahoma's better quarterbacks in the past. Well, OSU has one of their better quarterbacks from the past. In fact, their current former winningest coach, Pat Jones, was actually replaced on the wins list by that quarterback. And that quarterback is now in charge of OSU and actually has more conference titles than Pat did at OSU. One. We'll go over Mike Gundy's version of Oklahoma State. Coming up next. Welcome back to the show. The first of the two previews, as I said, is over Oklahoma State. The Cowboys of Oklahoma State, who in 2014 finished with a 7-6 overall record, 4-5 in the Big 12, and their head coach is Oklahoma State Gundy, Mike Gundy. Of course, brother Cale is now the outside receivers coach at Oklahoma. But brother Mike is in charge of OSU. The other Gundy does have a returning quarterback coming back. The potential starter is number 10, Mason Rudolph. Rudolph passed for 853 yards to go with 12 touchdowns, but did throw 12 interceptions in 3 games. Threw for 853 yards and 12 touchdowns in 3 games. True freshman in Waco, came into Norman, and then, of course, in the in their bowl game against Washington in the Cactus Bowl. But if they're wanting to do that, they've got to get him a running game. And that running game could very well go down to Rennie Childs, who rushed for 294 yards last year and 3 touchdowns. Brandon Shepard also had a 69 yards rushing last year and 0 touchdowns. Now, they do have an incredibly fascinating junior college transfer. Was supposed to go to the University of Georgia. Things didn't work out that way. Went to junior college. So it just really didn't work there. But could potentially be like the punt returner from last year that Oklahoma will remember. Wide receiver. This is where Brandon Shepard makes his name, though. Number 7, Brandon Shepard. And number 13, David Glidden. As a receiver, Brandon Shepard had 39 yards receiving to go with 737 yards. Did have 5 touchdowns last year as a Cowboy. The Orange and Black Cowboys also have, of course, David Glidden. He's back. With 42 receptions to go with 598 yards and 2 touchdowns last year for the Cowboys. OSU defensively. They've really made a solid progress here over the years. And they've made a solid knowing that here in the Big 12, You can make as many tackles as you want to make. But what you've also got to do is you've got to create the turnovers. And they've been very, very good at that. Last year, kind of took a dip last year, and that's probably why they went 4-5 in the league. But trying to get them back this year will be number 13, Jordan Stenz, and number 52, Ryan Simmons. Jordan Stenz, 103 total tackles last year, to go with 2 forced fumbles. Didn't recover any fumbles, but did have a pick last year as that went. Defensively also for the other guy, Ryan Simmons, 96 total tackles, but 0 turnovers as far as forced fumbles, fumbles recovered, and interceptions. Of course, their head coach is their former quarterback, Mike Gundy. That Gundy was at OSU from 1985 to 1989. Started at Oklahoma State in 2005. And has been with the program since 2005 to present. Hasn't had another job. Record-wise, Mike, the other Gundy is 84-44 in conference overall play. That is a .656 winning percentage, and that is to include a 6-3 bowl record. To go with a .667 winning percentage in the bowls. Big 12 championships during the Stoops era. He's got one, as I said. He has the one in 2011. Could have been in the national championship that year if it weren't for a strange game at Iowa State. And actually, in that game, they actually had a two touchdown lead in that ball game. Anyway, that last year's version, 2014, got with a 4-5 record, 76 overall, did get them 7-6, did get them to a bowl where they played in the Cactus Bowl against Washington, and outsmarted Washington 30-22. Washington went 8-6 last year, 4-5 in the Pac-12 North Division. This is 2 games, the second of which you really saw something cool happen offensively. The first, of course, was the big Oakman from Baylor getting in the end zone. Oklahoma, I think, and then last year, the big offensive lineman for OSU, he gets a big-time gainer. It wasn't a touchdown, but you saw that big train coming if you were Washington, coming down the field. Next preview will be the final preview like this that we'll do, and then we'll get into game mode with the picks and everything. And that will be my team, my Sooners. They're coming up next. As I said, I'll do that one right here after this one. That way we can get them both in, and I can start next week, and I can start this week and get some game prep stuff ready for you guys, the fans, for next Sunday. All right, guys. See you all in a few minutes. As always, you can find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or you can tweet me at SoonerFanOK. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, Boomer Sooner, everybody.